welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Azine Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Okay guys, so today has been almost all about Ilebaye in the Big Brother Naija All-Stars house. Yes guys, so the day started with them doing their yoga sessions, and after that they went on to work on their wager tax, and before you know it, there was shouting from Mercy to Ilebaye asking her to shut her trap, shut the F up. What exactly caused it? There was, a back and forth with Ilebaye and Soma because Soma wanted to nap more and Ilebaye had to drag him out. In fact, she's been dragging all of them out ever since, they started working on the wager, and she started going on and on about how, they want to make her look bad. And Mercy was like, nobody wants to make you look bad. At some point, she started talking about how, she does not understand why they are attacking her, making reference to Soma, and Mercy took it up, and before you know it, Mercy flipped and she was shouting down at Ilebaye. But I mean, minutes later, they actually resolved their issue and they started working, on the tax at hand. Also, there was moments where Ceec was like telling her that she's going to be a terrible business owner because she's like, you know what, she does not have like a direction, you get? Like she's like, oh, do this, do that, but she herself is not really engaging in the task at hand. Now that happened. Also, all of them went for it's supposed to be like the diary session where they get to stake how much they want to put on their wager, but because there's no longer any money point coin whatever, so Big Brother kind of like used it to assess their progress and how far they've gone with the wager tax, and if they've been good followers and if the head of house has been a good head of house. Now one by one they went in there bearing their thoughts, some of them agreeing that Ilebaye has actually been a decent head of house, some of them saying that no, she has not been a decent head of house. Some of them also went there to say that the housemate has really not given Ilebaye the respect she deserves as the head of house. And some of them actually are saying that Ilebaye really has been that one housemate that has given other heads of house before her a very, very tough time. Yes, guys, now that happened, and of course, this sparked a lot of discourse on social media. And in this video, I am going to be dissecting all of that and tell you guys my candid opinion on this whole Ilebaye matter. Yes, guys. So first things first, Mercy shouted at Ilebaye this morning and asking her to shut the F up, to shut her trap, as if she is her younger sister that she brought from her house. Nah, that was super unnecessary. Like, Mercy had no reason to do that. I get the house there's a lot of pressure. Of course, I mean, it's the 9th week, the week before the final week. It's always very tense. Yes, I mean, Big Brother has given them, Big Brother did not even think of giving them maybe a tax or a wager presentation that will be more laid back, more fun, but he decided to make them rack their brains, right, to think of all these innovations that's going to be helping in the future and all of that. Now, of course, it's pressure. And also, there's double pressure on the head of house, Ilebaye, because the last wager, they lost it, and she probably wants to make a name for herself as, that head of house that wins her wager. Now she's been driving. Honestly, she's been driving this housemate. Yes, guys. And, one thing about driving people every time, most times they succumb to pressure, and most times they just get frustrated, and that's what I see. I just saw Mercy being frustrated about the whole thing, because if you look at how this whole thing played out, Mercy honestly did not have any reason lashing out at her like that. Also, that kind of like shows you how they perceive Ilebaye. Like, if it was another housemate that was the head of house, if it was a housemate that they regard, that was the head of house, trust me, that wouldn't have happened. Yes, guys. Now let's fast forward, to their diary sessions. See, all of them gave an account of Ilebaye's leadership based on where they are at presently with her. That's all I saw there. Like, you see CC saying that Ilebaye was not a good head of house because, I mean, she has complained about Ilebaye's leadership skills like few minutes even before she got into that diary room. And knowing CC who she is, she's that kind of a person that is led by her emotions. Venita also has been complaining. In fact, ever since Cross decided to have that chat with Cece and Venita complaining to Ilebaye about it, and Ilebaye refused to act as, Venita would have expected her to act. Of course, Venita kind of like looked at Ilebaye as a person that is not strong enough to make those executive decisions in her language. So, of course, you would not expect her to come and say, oh, Ilebaye was a fantastic head of house, even though she actually did admit that she was surprised that Ilebaye was even much more involved in the head of house task than she has ever been before. You see Pere coming out to say that Ilebaye is being cautious, she doesn't want to step on toes. Pere is also coming from his own angle, right? Yes, there might be an iota of truth in it here and there, but we will not forget that listening to Pere in the diary room, you could tell that he has a bone to pick with Venita. Now, listening to Angel too, you can see where they're all coming from, right? But one person that I feel like gave a proper account of what is happening is Cross. Yes. Now, I listened keenly to Cross's diary session. Now, he did not say that Ilebaye has not really been a good head of house. Of course, she has tried. Like, this is the first time, aside from when Shalzy was the head of house and when they had their drama thing, this is actually honestly the first time I've seen Ilebaye put her best foot forward in the wager. Yes, I'm not saying she does not contribute to the wager. I'm just saying for her eagerness, right? This is the first time no, not the first time. Why am I saying the first time? This is actually the third time I'm witnessing that in their wager, and no, I'm not talking about tax. Now, Cross gave a proper account of everything. And looking at or listening to everything that Cross said, I was forced to agree with him because Ilebaye gave heads of house before her wahala. Ilebaye that will be sleeping, that you call for a head of house meeting and Ilebaye will show up with her quilts. The same Ilebaye, I'm not in any way saying that Ilebaye has not tried as a head of house. I'm actually saying that maybe karma came early, right? Because we've seen how she was during Doyen's head of house reign. Even though Doyen too, as a head of house, I felt like she was just too, lackadaisical and laid back and nonchalant about it, right? But Ilebaye just, she just didn't care. When Cross was head of house, you saw how she acted, right? So I think it's the ghost of all those things she's done that has come back to haunt her. Now she is the head of house. And like Cross said, she wasn't even prepared, not that she was not prepared to be a head of house, but she was not prepared for the responsibilities that will come from being a head of house. Yeah. And that's why I said, for me, Cross's account of things that happen is kind of like the one that is close to the accurate thing. Now, listening to them also, you could see that some of the housemates are naturally very difficult people. You can see that Venita is a very difficult person. Very talented, but yet very, very difficult. Not one, not two. Almost all the housemates are saying the same thing about her. Some bold enough to call her name, while others are not so bold to call her name. Now, let's, leave that aside and talk about Ilebaye's diary session. I will not lie, the diary session of Ilebaye finished a few minutes ago. It was quite emotional. Like, I know that those words that Venita said to her would get to her. Because, there's nobody you tell that to that will actually not go and, think. Calling somebody dumb, calling somebody a weakling, calling somebody an olodo. Because of what? Like, listening to all those things that Venita told her during the power oil tax kind of like pissed me off, and I did that video that I did, and I honestly don't regret that I did that video. And it's quite rich coming from Venita, saying that when during the arena games people were not clapping for her, telling her to encouraging her and all of that. Like, why would they encourage you, baby? You've been bullying them. Yes. And not just Ilebaye, anybody that does not agree with Venita. she always goes against them. She has done it to different heads of house. I mean, have you guys forgotten the one that which one? I think the acting one, where she was like, is it the acting or which one that she was like, she's a veteran and she had to like come in and beg and beg. Have you guys forgotten? Venita has always been like that. She's that kind of a person that, you know, you have to, she's talented and she knows it. And somehow she's like, you know what, without me, you can't do this. And those kind of people, the best way to shut them up is to achieve that thing that they think you cannot achieve without them. That's the best way. And I also love how Big Brother answered her. Like, what have you actually done to make these people want to like celebrate you, want to do this with you, want to do that, encourage you and all that? What exactly have you done? You have actually acted like, you know, you've been mean to them. You've been degrading them. You've been using hurtful words to them. And somehow you feel, okay, we'll just, you know, forget about everything that Venita did and clap for her. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I also think, again, the tension in the house is also coming because majority of the people in that house at the moment, 5 of them, their fate is quite uncertain. They don't know if they are in the finals or if not, they are not in the finals. Like, they are so close to be in the finals, but yet so far from being in the finals. Of course, that will mess with their head, especially with the finalists being overly happy, most of them, not all of them, overly happy, you know, talking about how they're in the finals and all of that. Of course, that wouldn't go down well with them. Look at them. Aside from Summer, you know, that is always applying himself to the work. Even Summer too, in his diary session, you could see how he was over calculating everything that Big Brother said. Even when he came out, he was like, this one, Big Brother told me this, Big Brother told me that. Does that mean that I'm leaving? So it's everything just adds up to why there is so much tension in the house. And I think Big Brother should do something about it. It's supposed to be the final weeks of the show. It's not supposed to be so much, there's not supposed to be so much tension and all of that. Now, in conclusion, what I have to say is this. Ilebaye was actually very nonchalant when it comes to wagers, yeah, but that does not mean that the housemates did not disrespect her. I feel like they don't even, you know, they don't even see her as a head of house. Honestly, most of the things that they say to Ilebaye, do to Ilebaye, trust me, if it was another person that was the head of house, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. Two truths can actually exist. There can be Ilebaye used to be, you know, a very, very shitty follower when there were other leaders. And there will also be the truth that this housemate doesn't actually respect her. So all in all, I just don't feel like there is a person that is 100% right or wrong in this whole matter. I don't think that Mercy is a bully. Nope. At least in this instance, I just feel like she let the frustration get the better of her. Ilebaye too is under so much pressure. The girl is not even smiling. She just, I can't wait for this wager thing to go and let them win it so that she can have a peace of mind. And honestly, looking at her in the diary room, it was honestly a very, very emotional one. Because I know how words can hurt. Some people will tell you it's better to beat me than to actually say some certain words. Those words that Venita said hurt her because she touched her insecurities. And Venita has a way of doing that. She finds a way, she has a way of, you know, packing up all your insecurities and using it against you when you people have a fight. And the reconciliation and everything, yes, you know, I forgive you, we can be cordial, but that does not erase what you said. Like, words cannot be taken back. You say some very meaningful things to somebody, you can't take it back. Watching Ilebaye as the head of house kind of like reminds me of last season with Chichi as the head of house. Like, they frustrated Chichi so much that baby girl was crying and turning red. Like, Chichi was like, how can it be that just last week, you guys were listening to Fina? Like, even during that meeting, I remember vividly, Fina would talk and they would listen, but Chichi would talk and they would not listen. It's frustrating. It's actually very frustrating. But all in all, I'm actually looking forward to, you know, their wager presentation. If Big Brother will actually go through with what he said, give them a movie or something to reward them for them to win the wager, I actually pray that Big Brother will give them one because, they have actually tried. They have tried. All the bickering, all the wahala, all the sleepless nights, all the insults. I beg, Big Brother, give them this wager. That's what I think about this whole matter. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. On that note, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you all for being part of my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Until I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Ezine Williams. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day ahead.